The lesson I want you to have to take away from this video today is whenever you shake up your India ink bottle to make sure the lid's on tight. I did not get this on video, but the bottle exploded in my hands and I had black ink dripping all over the place. And I ran to the kitchen. I was able to scrub it off with one of those Brillo pad things and some soap. And got a little bit on the table, but my clothes luckily were okay. So on the sheet today, I have something that looks like a sci-fi lizard. I used an actual reference for this. I think I showed it here briefly. And it reminded me of a movie that I don't remember ever watching, but I've seen clips of it. And Cheryl, what's that movie called?
1 million BC from 1940.
Now I'm going to have to look on Prime to see if I can get that movie, because the lizards on that, if I remember right, were just little miniatures that they kind of made look big. And that's kind of what I got going here. I don't know what kind of lizard this is. It's a real lizard. It
looks like a monitor lizard.
Yeah,
maybe.
I love the cheek. The cheek, because it has some sort of a pattern, and people love patterns, and it was kind of cool to do. I'm using my 8 B as in boy pencil here to do my thick outlines, and I did like the design. I used the same image in a acrylic painting. Which you could probably find if you go back on my site, and I encourage all of you to go back and look, because the painting version of this is really cool too. So we're going to talk about sci-fi movies here, because we got 13 minutes to fill here. We're going to talk about our top favorite ones. So Cheryl, what would you say is your favorite science fiction movie?
In my top 3 to 5, Independence Day, Wrath of Khan, Star Wars.
I didn't even think of those other two. You're right. Wrath of Khan. What was the other one you said?
Independence Day.
Independence Day. That's funny.
That's one of the few movies that we have ever stood in line to see, ever.
I was going to say that. We stood in line when they first came out for probably, I don't know.
We stood in line for probably an hour to see that movie.
And now I can go over to the TV set on Prime and just watch it whenever I want to.
Right.
I was going to put down Jurassic Park. That's definitely science fiction, because those dinosaurs weren't real. And I'm kind of a dinosaur nut, so whenever I get a chance to paint one or draw one, I do. I prefer the first one. Then if you jump over towards the end, there's another good one in there. I can't tell you. It was Jurassic World. Was that it?
One of the most recent ones with Dallas. What's her name?
Opie's daughter.
Right.
Who's Opie? Opie from
Andy
Griffith Show.
From the Andy Griffith Show. And
Right.
Happy Days.
Right. So here's one that doesn't have any monsters in it, but it's one of my all-time favorites. That's the Andromeda Strain. I know they made a newer version of it, but I like the 1960s version. It's a Michael Crichton movie, and Michael Crichton also did Jurassic Park. He's my absolutely favorite writer of all times, because whenever I read a Michael Crichton book... Oh, geez. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Whenever I read a Michael Crichton book, I always end up smarter after I'm done than when I started, because his books are so well researched out.
Do you know what my favorite movie based on a Michael Crichton book is?
I do.
What is it?
It's 13th Warrior.
That's right. The 13th Warrior.
And I just read something recently that there was some huge controversy with that movie on how it got made, and it almost didn't get made, or it was I don't know. It was a tough sell. But yeah, it's a good movie. I guess. I don't know.
Guess.
Well, you like Vikings and stuff because you are one, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Let's look at my list here. Of course, you have to put in the Alien/Aliens, and
Do you have to?
Well, yes, because if you go back to the beginning of my YouTube channel, you're going to find probably 15 different alien paintings. Xenomorphs, because it's a huge design I just love. And if you're into that movie...
You like Giger.
I like Giger stuff. You just need to go back, rummage through my list of videos, and find the ones where I paint the aliens. Because I hope you like the stuff I like. Which is funny, because I was looking at the YouTube stuff like I always do, and trying to find my niche. And I think my niche is so narrow. I mean, it is so narrow that I don't know if we have any fans. But I also think this. I think that YouTube is just not sending my stuff to the right people. It's sending it to old ladies who want to learn how to paint flowers. And they just don't get into...
This is not the right channel for
It's
that.
not.
No.
I mean, look at this. Look at the screen right now. I got this cool-looking iguanodon monster here. what am I doing here? I'm putting in my first layer of ink wash. I love my ink washes. And, you know, no old lady is going to paint this or hang this in her living room on a couch. But that's too bad because it'd look freaking awesome in your couch, in your living room. You know, I put this in the kitchen, anywhere. Bedroom. This is definitely a good bedroom painting. Which is funny because, you know, I paint stuff that really appeals to teenage boys. Which, you know, I actually thought about this today. I was going to print off a picture of, what's that singer from last night? Taylor Swift.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Usher.
No. And I thought, you know, if I could probably pull off a Taylor Swift if I really tried hard enough. But if I did and put it in a thumbnail, people clicked on it, they go, well, where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of the pictures like this? And it wouldn't do me a darn bit of good because I'd be attracting the wrong crowd. I'd be attracting 13-year-old girls, and they don't give a crap about my monster paintings. So marketing for my channel is difficult. And the only way I can ever get going is that the people, you guys who are listening to this, like, comment, and I mean comment, because comments mean a ton to get me shared, and share this stuff, and subscribe, and hit the bell. The more subscribers I get, the better. You know, I'm up to 140 some odd videos, and every one of my videos takes me hours to do. It's not like I'm sitting in front of a microphone like this, just talking to the camera like a lot of those guys do. I have to put something together. I have to work my tail off for this stuff. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but this is kind of tedious. So I hope you made it this far. We're already, about 6 minutes into this thing? So, Cheryl, let's talk about movies again.
Okay.
Tell me something about Star Wars that's cool.
Well, we talked about this the other day. I mean, Star Wars came out in 1976 when I was a little kid, and I think it's just iconic to people our age because it was part of our childhood. It was such a huge part of our childhood. Star Wars, A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back, and Revenge of the Jedi.
Now, here's a funny thing.
Those three were just, like, that was our childhood.
Right. Of all the movies that came out, I only watched the first two. And realistically, the second one is very, very good, but it's not as... They say it's better than the first. I don't think so. I think the first one's better. So tell me this. In A New Hope, what scene is your favorite?
The cantina scene.
And why is that?
I think it's all the characters that are in there and the music.
You know, it's funny. The song they play... Because I remember I was 13 years old and it came out. That song stuck in my head so much. That goofy, weird song they do.
Ironically enough, it is the ringtone for our youngest son when he calls me. Because, well, his name is Landon. So he was named after a character in Planet of the Apes, which is another one of Keith's favorite sci-fi movies. But his whole life we have referred to him as Lando. So Lando Calrissian. I realize that Lando Calrissian is not in A New Hope when that music is being played, but you get the connection.
Hey, I'll tell you my least favorite scene in A New Hope. That's the whole garbage scene. It's just. I think it's just filler. It's just to make the movie a little bit longer. You know, it's not very compelling. It's just okay. Oh, we gotta talk about my favorite part. My least favorite part of that movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Besides the garbage compactor scene?
The part where Luke and Leia are swinging across the cavern.
Oh, right. Yes. Why would a stormtrooper need a grappling hook?
Why would a stormtrooper need a grappling hook in his utility belt? It's like, there's no reason for it. I mean, how many times is a stormtrooper gonna...
But what do you tell me all the time? You can't question the writing.
George Lucas just wanted to have a pirate scene in that movie. And the only way he could do it was to do that. Make them jump. Or rope across.
Sure.
So I just find that, man, what are you doing giving a stormtrooper a grappling hook?
Let's talk about Wrath of Khan.
Oh, which one? The TV one or the movie?
The movie. The first movie.
There's only one Wrath of Khan. Oh, you mean the one was...
The one with Benedict Cumberbatch is also Wrath of Khan, basically.
Right. Cumberbatch, yes.
Or however you say it. Yeah. Which is also a good movie, too, because I do like the new Star Trek movies with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, and who plays Bones?
Bruce Greenwood. Oh, Carl Urban.
Yes, Carl Urban from Lord of the Rings, right?
Right.
And The Boys. And I think Carl Urban is just a totally underrated actor. Chris Pine is perfect as James T. Kirk because he has the attitude for it. However, the original Wrath of Khan, the movie...
The original was a TV show.
No.
Yeah, it was?
Movie. I want to talk about the original Wrath of Khan movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead. What's your favorite part?
Oh, well, now you put me on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the part where he was in the Botany Bay talking to Chekhov.
And they put that little worm in their ears?
Which is funny because Chekhov was not in the series when that episode was done, so they never actually met in real life, but they kind of fudged it. You know what I'm saying? Because Chekhov was added later on.
Yeah, in the series.
So that was a total, complete lie. It ruined my entire childhood for
oh my gosh.
Star Trek.
Could you be any more dramatic?
I like every scene in Star Trek where they have an actor in a fight scene where you could obviously tell the stuntman's not who it's supposed to be.
It's not.
There's
Shatner.
I have a theory on that. I think in 1960s, TV sets were not as clear as they are today, so it's hard to pick off faces when you're looking at a fuzzy TV screen. But nowadays, it's obvious you can tell those guys are not who they are. But I love the fact they don't care. It's like, we don't care. It's a fight scene. We're just going to do it the way we want to do it. And I love Shatner. The original series is my favorite. The Next Generation has lots of really, really, really well-written episodes. It's very science fiction-y, very well done. But I'll always go back to the beginning because I remember as a child sitting on the couch with my dad watching Star Trek. And how old would I have been then? I mean, it came out in 68.
3 or 4.
68, I would have been 4, but I'm sure you were watching reruns by that point. I was probably at least closer to 8 or 10. So that's kind of more of a bonding moment with my dad. But, we watch Star Trek every night of the week because I'm a nut and that's what I do.
Yeah.
to Cheryl's dismay.
You know how you just kind of have those comfort shows that you just pop on so you have background noise and you don't have to think about anything?
No,
that's what Star Trek is.
Well, not me because I overanalyze it all the time. All the time.
Yeah, you're always questioning the writing.
I know, and it sucks. I shouldn't do that. I'm a writer myself.
So, I do like Wrath of Khan with Ricardo Montalban.
Montalban?
Whatever his name is. The fine Corinthian leather. I don't know. But I also like Search for Spock. I think that's a good follow-up to Wrath.
That movie's just a filler movie.
I disagree with you completely.
Okay. What are we doing? We should go back to this thing real quick. I've done some coloring.
Oh, were you drawing?
I think I was making a monster thing here. Yeah, we're going to have to go back and see if that 1 million BC is available on Prime now that I've done this. Oh, one thing I'd talk about, I hope you're still here, because if you're on this at 12 minutes, you're dedicated to my channel, which means you need to like and subscribe and hit the bell and subscribe and make lots and lots and lots of comments. Because I'll respond to your comments. If you say something nice to me, I'll say something back halfway nice. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do with this painting was all the black stuff on his face. That was the goal of this painting, was the black stuff. And I did it this time, and I think it looks really cool. It's a little darker than the pencil, but I didn't want to use ink on everything. This is what we call a true mixed media artwork, because it has pencil, it has watercolor, it has India ink that I spilled all over my hands. And now I'm using the more of the watercolor. I wanted to go with a thin layer, and I did. So let's wrap this up with one more thing here. The Fly. Why is it you like The Fly with Jeff Goldblum so much?
I'm not a big fan of The Fly.
Why is that?
I don't know. It grosses me out, actually. I like Jeff Goldblum. He's in Independence Day. I think he's fantastic in Independence Day. And with Will Smith and Harry Connick Jr. is in Independence Day, Bill Pullman. That is just such a cool, Go America kind of movie.
But it's not The Fly.
Thankfully.
You need to change the subject on me. Okay, we're wrapping up here. Don't leave yet. Here I am. Oh, I put this. Okay, I'm signing my name, Keith Trim. Thanks.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you, Cheryl, for showing up again.
Mm-hmm.